Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So I'm here today with another movie haul. This one is actually ones that I picked up while I was on vacation. So I'll be honest, I went on vacation couple months ago now, but with everything else going on the channel, this one has just kind of been pushed aside a little bit, so it doesn't really matter to you guys, of course, when I got these, but they are new ones from my collection, so I wanted to share them with you guys so that you saw the cool new things I was able to find. So today there are about 15 movies in this stack here. I think maybe 4 or 5 of those are Blu-rays, and then the rest are DVDs, and I believe all but a couple of these were actually pickups from, it was called Disc Trader, I believe, when I was on vacation, but it is a disc replay. It's just another name for disc replay. If you go in the store, they have like their marketing materials and everything, the like signage that they have up with their warnings and their warranties and whatnot. That actually all still says disc replay, but the name on the building is actually Disc Trader. So I have no idea why they use the different name and why there are 2 different names between disc replay and disc trader, but whatever. Either way, as soon as I saw it, I knew exactly what it was, because I think I was looking on their website in the past and that name popped up, so I was aware of what it was, and it's the exact same font style, the exact same colors, everything. When you walk in the store, it's set up in the exact same way. This location that I went to is actually relatively small, I guess I would say, but they had just an insane amount of stuff packed into this small building, and when I was there, it was actually really busy for whatever reason, and so it was just a lot of fun to go through there to see what they had versus my store, and I was able to find some really cool things. A lot of these DVDs I picked up were actually from the clearance bin, and so yeah, just a lot of really cool things. Oh, you know what? Actually, there was a couple from like this, I don't even know what it was, but it was basically like a used kids clothing and toy store. I don't recall the name of it. Kid to Kid. It might have been Kid to Kid. And then there was actually a couple things from that bookstore I talked about in my book haul, which I am totally forgetting the name of right now, but there were a few movies left over because apparently they were getting rid of all their movies, and so they were super cheap, just trying to get rid of them. And so lots of really good prices on all of these, which I'll be honest, I don't remember what I paid now, but it was very small amounts, so that's always good. But anyway, I am rambling, so let's stop that and talk about some movies that I picked up recently. So if you guys do enjoy this video though, please give this one a like down below. That really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right in to my vacation movie haul. I didn't even mention it, but I'm in a different spot today just because I was filming something earlier and I wanted this background, and then I just said, you know what, we're just going to film here too because I don't feel like moving everything back. But anyway, let's start with the DVDs I grabbed, and this first one here is Scooby-Doo and the WWE Curse of the Speed Demon. And so this was when I was on my big Scooby kick, and when I saw this, I couldn't pass it up. So I've actually seen parts of this one before. It was on, maybe on TV or something, on Cartoon Network or something a long time ago. But yeah, I've seen parts of it and it's pretty good from what I remember. I've just never seen the entire thing. But I mean, like, The Undertaker's on the cover, so what's not to love here? One of my favorites of all time. Like, this is going to be fantastic. So happy to add Scooby-Doo Curse of the Speed Demon to the family collection. One thing about being over here is that I'm right next to my furnace, which just is not good for trying to record audio, so I apologize if it's not very good, but it is what it is. Anyway, next up here, this is the one I grabbed from Kid to Kid. This was actually brand new, but I did open it. This is Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and this is a movie, I'll be 100% honest, my mom used to love this movie growing up, but I never really liked this one, and the only reason I grabbed it is because my wife asked me to. So not a big fan of this one. I know it'll have a lot of people who love it. I'm just not one of them. It has been a very long time since I've seen this one though, so I will give this another shot at some point. But yeah, another one for the family collection, and one that I specifically grabbed because my wife was talking about it and she asked me to pick it up, so I did. So Chitty Chitty Bang Bang on DVD. Alright, so now we're on to some genre picks here, and the first one is horror. This is Frayed. So this one looked really interesting, and I decided to check it out on Letterboxd to see if it was one that was worth buying or not, and it actually has pretty decent reviews. From what I remember reading about this a couple months ago, it's actually like a Halloween knockoff, essentially. The main character in here is like being transferred from one prison to a mental hospital or vice versa, and I'm assuming that he escapes and goes on a rampage. And so yeah, this originally starts in like 1994. The sheriff apparently beat his mother to death. It was like the worst crime in the city, and now we're, you know, jumping years later, and this transfer is happening where I'm assuming he's going to escape and wreak havoc on the town. So it's supposed to be pretty decent for what it is. It's a slasher film, and I love those, so I figured I would give this one a chance. So Frayed, and this one, let me see, 2009 is when this one was released, so hopefully I will enjoy this one when I get around to it. I actually talked about this next one in my Inherited Movie series, Inherited Movie Collection series, because it happened to be in there, but I picked it up about a month before I got those Inherited movies, Night Skies, and this one I believe is from 2006, and it is an alien contact sci-fi film, and so I love movies like that, and I'm hoping this one will kind of be as good as I'm hoping it's going to be. It says unidentified, unexplained, and unthinkable. The best part here, inspired by real events, and so that just is super intriguing to me. Reminds me of something like, oh my gosh, the name Fire in the Skies. Fire in the Skies. That one was inspired by that true story as well, or, you know, true story. You believe what you want, but reminds me of something like that. So I'm hoping it's as good as that one. I tend to enjoy these types of films, and I did like Fire in the Sky. That's one I need to pick that one up on Blu-ray still, because that one just came out recently on Blu-ray. But anyway, Night Skies. This was one in my Inherited Movie Collection, but I did pick it up while I was on vacation, so I did trade that copy off, and so I do have this one in my collection still. Night Skies from 2006. This next one was actually brand new, and you can see, so it was originally marked at $4, but everything was half off, so this was only $2, brand new. You can still see the stickers on it and everything. But this is Dummy with Adrian Brody, and is she on the cover there? Yeah, there she is. And Mila Jovovich, who is just fantastic. So this one looks interesting. It is a rom-com, which I prefer my Dummy movies to be horror, but that's okay. I'm assuming this one would be pretty good because the cast is awesome. And so, yeah, I guess our main character, Adrian Brody, is kind of a loser, and he is struggling to find who he is, and so he ends up buying this ventriloquist dummy, and that's how he finds his, like, inner voice, is what the back of the box here says. And he ends up going on, like, the comedy circuit, and ends up falling in love with his, I think, his counselor or something like that. So I don't know, sounds interesting. I love Adrian Brody. What's not to love here? Mila Jovovich as well. And it also has I'm going to butcher her name, Ileana Douglas, I believe, who I recognize. You can get a better picture of her right there. Very recognizable face. And so, yeah, excited about this one. Again, brand new, buying it used, which is just awesome. I love when that happens. So we will check out Dummy. Next up is an Al Pacino action thriller. This is 88 minutes. So this one is one that I've always known about and I've always wanted to check out. I just never had an opportunity to. So I'm very happy that I was able to add it to my collection. I guess in this one, Al Pacino is a detective or a forensic psychologist, I guess. And he receives a phone call that says he only has 88 minutes to live. And so I think it has to do with a copycat serial killer. So very intrigued to see if this one is any good or not. I'm hoping it's done in like real time. Obviously it's longer than 88 minutes. It's like 107 minutes, but hopefully once he gets the phone call through the 88 minutes, I think it would be so cool if it was done in real time. I'm sure it's probably not, because that would be very difficult, but wouldn't that be awesome if it was? Anyway, very excited to check this one out and see what it's all about. This one is directed by John Avenat, who that name is super familiar. I believe there was something I picked up recently. Maybe it was Red Corner in my Dollar Tree haul with Richard Gere. I could be right. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But anyway, the name's familiar. So yeah, I'm just intrigued to see if this one is any good or not. So 88 minutes with Al Pacino. So the next one here is really cool because this is a 4-movie pack that I got for like $1 or something at Disc Replay. We have Dudley Do Right with Brendan Fraser in it. I've always wanted to see that one. Sergeant Bilko, Steve Martin, Dan Aykroyd in there. How's that not going to be great? Cop and a Half with Burt Reynolds. I remember going to the movie theater with my dad when that one released. I want to say, I don't know if the year is going to be right, but I feel like it was the movie that him and I went to go see when my mom was at her baby shower with my my younger sister before she was born, but I don't know if those years match up. That's what it is in my head, but I have to check on that. But anyway, and then the last one here is Ed, which has Matt LeBlanc from Friends. Like, that is just awesome. I have seen like 2, I guess, of these, Ed and Cop and a Half, but it has been so long since I've seen Ed, I don't really remember it at all. And I think it was before I really watched Friends, so I didn't have Joey in my head while watching it, so I need to revisit that. But Sergeant Bilko and Dudley Do-Right just look awesome, and so very happy to add these. And I think this one came, so it's on 2 different DVDs. So yeah, just a good collection for, like I said, I think this was like $1 or something. It was super cheap in their clearance section. So Dudley Do-Right, Sergeant Bilko, Cop and a Half, and Ed, 4 new ones for the comedy collection. This next one just screams early 2000s to me, and I am so excited to finally check this movie out. Ryan Phillippe, Rachel Lee Cook, Claire Forlani, and Tim Robbins in Antitrust. So this one looks just awesome. First off, like, look at everything about this. It is so early 2000s. It actually came out in 2000. But I guess our main character is like this computer hacker, computer whiz kid who gets hired by this big giant company. Ends up, his friend gets murdered. And so he gets kind of wrapped up into this thriller. So very excited to see where this one goes. I love like those early hacker movies like this. I don't know if he's technically a hacker, but those early computer movies, I'm sure he's going to be using the internet in just weird ways that look hilarious to us now because it was so new back then. But yeah, like, obviously this is not going to be anything like Hackers, but I love Hackers so much. So I'm hoping it at least gives me some Hackers vibes. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Antitrust should be a heck of a lot of fun. Really excited to check this one out from 2000. Here's another comedy that looks awesome. It has Seth Rogen in it, who I think is hilarious. This is Observe and Report. So with this one from 2009, we are following these mall security guards who are trying to find this flasher. And they basically, our main character, Seth Rogen, is trying to catch him so that he can hopefully get a real police job. And so that's his goal. But obviously there's going to be just kind of crazy shenanigans in here. I think there's a little bit of a romance plot in this as well, which makes sense. So yeah, I don't know. It just looks funny. And like, I love Seth Rogen. The cast on this looks great. So I am guessing I will probably enjoy this because I tend to like movies like this and like movies with Seth Rogen. So sounds like a lot of fun. Probably should be right up my alley. Observe and Report from 2009. Next up is another rom-com, and this one is also from 2009. This is 500 Days of Summer with Zooey Deschanel and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. So I remember when this one first came out, I remember renting it from Netflix, either on DVD or Blu-ray, I don't remember which at the time, but my wife and I watched it when we were relatively early on in our dating, and we both really loved this movie. It was just, there was something very charming about it, and I love Zooey Deschanel, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I don't know that I'd seen him in anything other than Third Rock from the Sun at that point. And so I remember liking him from that when, you know, watching that when I was younger. And then coming to this, I was like, wow, that is an extremely talented actor. He's great in everything that he does. And so I just cannot wait to revisit this because it is so sweet and funny. It is very funny from what I remember, but I don't remember the specifics of it. And so I really want to give it another shot and just see what see what kind of comes back to me as I'm watching it. But yeah, should be one that I am guessing still holds up, even though I'm, now 10 years older than over 10 years older than the first time I saw it. Hopefully I will still enjoy it just as much as I did the first time. So 500 Days of Summer from 2009 is going to be the last DVD I grabbed. So now let's jump over and talk about some Blu-rays I picked up. Oh my gosh, that's right. So this is one I actually was disappointed the first time I went through this, and now I'm disappointed again on the second time because I totally forgot. I originally bought Planes because it had the Blu-ray 3D version. At least that's what the box said. I get it home, I open it up, and it only has the 2D Blu-ray and the DVD. You can see like these spindles are big enough to hold double discs on each of them, but they're just not there, unfortunately. And so disappointing, but it is what it is. Like, there's nothing I could take it back to Schuler Books, which just hit me. That's the name of the bookstore I got this from, was Schuler Books. But I can't take it back because, I don't have any near me, and it was like $2 anyway on clearance, whatever. So I added Planes to the regular Blu-ray collection as opposed to my 3D collection. But I've actually never seen this one before. It takes place in the same universe as the Cars films, but I've only seen, I think, the first Cars movie, and I liked it, but I didn't love that movie, and so I just never ended up continuing with the rest of them. But Planes is one that I will check out at some point, and because the DVD is in there, that's definitely one that my daughter will watch as she grows up. So yeah, this one should be pretty good. It's Disney Pixar, like what's not to like? So hopefully I will enjoy this when I get around to it. Planes, only on 2D Blu-ray, not 3D Blu-ray, but still another one for the Blu-ray collection. I was so excited to find this next one because it actually completes a series that I started collecting earlier this year. This is the Marine 5 Battleground, and you can see the main actor here is The Miz, who I absolutely love. So not only is The Miz in this, but Bo Dallas, Heath Slater is in this, Curtis Axel, Naomi, and Maurice are in this, who is Miz's wife. Like, that is fantastic. I cannot wait to check this movie out. Obviously, I have to watch the first 4 leading up to this, but I will eventually check this one out. This is one that I was trying to find at my local disc replays for months, and I never came across it. It was actually available on Hamilton Book, but I've never placed the order yet, and so now I don't need to because I was able to find this one at disc replay for cheap. So yeah, very happy that I was able to find Marine 5 Battleground, and I'm able now to say, because I guess this is just something I want to say, that I have the entire Marine collection on Blu-ray. So there's that, I guess. You guys know I was really excited about this one, and I actually talked about this in my 13 Days of Halloween, so you know it's an Asylum film. This is Sharknado on Blu-ray. So this is a fine movie. I think they do a good job with it. It is very clearly going for a specific style. So it's over the top, it's absurd, it's not at all believable. It's made to be a low-budget, sci-fi, goofy movie that you watch with your friends and laugh at, and it does that really well. I talked about it during my 13 Days of Halloween. I want to say I gave it like 3 or 3.5 stars. Like, it's a good movie. It's enjoyable. There are just so many like continuity errors in this. Some things that happen that you're like, what? This doesn't even make sense. But again, it's one of those turn your brain off movies and just have a good time. Which is why they made 6 of them, which is just mind-blowing to me. But anyway, I now have the first one on Blu-ray. If anyone has the like Steelbook collection that has all of these films and you're willing to sell it for a decent price, please let me know, because that thing goes for so much money on eBay. It's ridiculous. But if I could get it for what, I don't know, maybe $20, $30, I'd probably pick it up. But I think it's like 2 to 3 times that on eBay, which is just obnoxious. So anyway, Sharknado from Asylum, another one from my Asylum collection, which I'm trying to carve out a spot for my Asylum movies because I have so many now that I would love to have them all together, just to say I have a collection of Asylum films. Again, because apparently that's something I want to say, which, whatever. I'm weird. What can I say? Next up here is a movie with one of my favorite actors, and it is a actor whose filmography I am trying to complete, as I've talked about multiple times. This is Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena in End of Watch. So this one, I don't think it's like fully found footage, but I know it mixes in found footage because of the body cam element that the police officers have on their uniforms. And so I am really looking forward to this one, checking it out, seeing if it's any good or not. Jake Gyllenhaal, I always talk about, one of my favorites, and I'm trying to get everything that he's been in, at least everything that he's had a major role in my collection in one form or another. Blu-ray, DVD, 4K, doesn't matter. I just want a physical copy of all of his films. And so this is another one for that collection that I'm really excited about. So End of Watch, another one for the Jake Gyllenhaal collection. My furnace is turning back on because it didn't want to last another few minutes for me. But anyway, the last one here is actually a Criterion Blu-ray that I found for a really good price at Disc Replay. This is Paris, Texas from 1984, and this is spine number 501. So this is a movie that has been on my like Criterion wish list for so long, but there's always something else that kind of trumps it when I go to buy movies from Barnes & Noble or Amazon or Criterion.com, whatever it is. And so I just never pick it up. But now I finally was able to find this one for super cheap, so I picked it up because why wouldn't I? So this is, I'm going to mess this up. I want to say it's Wim Wenders, I believe, is how you pronounce his name, the director on this. And I've heard really excellent things about it. It's supposed to just be a like somber family drama, but it's supposed to be incredibly powerful. So really intrigued to see if this one lives up to the hype that I've read about it over the years. And finding any Criterion film for a good price at Disc Replay is always a win, and you can see it is complete with the booklet and everything, so it is in perfect shape, so there's nothing I can complain about here. So Paris, Texas from 1984, spine number 501 is the last movie I ended up finding while I was on vacation. Alright, so there they are, all 15 movies that I found while I was on vacation at a few different stores. And so it was an awesome vacation. I have a vacation book haul if you want to check that one out, because I found some really good books while I was out there too. It was just a really fun time, and I love when I can pick up media whenever I'm traveling, because it makes it feel a little bit more special, because I didn't buy it at my local stores. But anyway, if you guys have seen any of these, please let me know what you think I should put at the top of the priority list, because you guys always give me some really good recommendations, so thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. But as always, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below. That really does help me out. And like I always say, I don't just talk movies, I talk all things media, be it books, movies, video games, graphic novels, manga. If it's media related, I'm interested in it, and if you are too, you might consider subscribing. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for today. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.